I'm sure everyone here is aware of the tragedy that happened just 1 week ago to those 9 people in the helicopter with Kobe Bryant, 41, his daughter Gianna, 13. There were 2 other children, one was 13 and 14, the Attabellis and the Chester, and one girl lost her mother. And obviously there are brothers and sisters, and we hear a story like that of human beings, and we just it's just gut-wrenching, just beyond words of what that could possibly be like. You almost can't even imagine it. And I hear that, how fleeting life could be, how like this. And I think, I don't know about you, but I think, what's wrong with me? What's going on here that I'm not getting this about life and how sacred it is and how precious it is every second of our life to be alive, to be able to love, to be able to give of ourselves, to tell the people in our lives that we love them and to look at them. What's wrong? Why do we get so troubled and we're all preoccupied? So during the week, I started thinking back to that play, Our Town by Thornton Wilder. Remember that play? And it's great. Today you just put it on your phone and you can see the whole play, the movie, whatever. It's right there. And so I was revisiting that play. And as you know, the play is this Emily who dies at childbirth, giving birth to a child. She's 38. And so she's in heaven. She's somewhere, and the other people there who have left their bodies, and they're talking to one another. And Emily says, I want to go back. I want to go back, and I want to experience my 12th birthday all over again. Just want to go back and see what that was like. I go, oh, Emily, don't go. Don't go. No, I gotta go. Okay. So she goes back. Her dad was away for a few days and had come back. And Emily's upstairs getting ready. And the father says, hey, Emily, come on down. I got your birthday present for you. Don't be bothering her right now. She's slow as molasses. If you keep talking to her, she's going to be late for school. Where's my blue ribbon? It's right on your dresser. If it were a snake, it would bite you. Come on down, Emily. So she comes down. The mother's cooking and making breakfast and getting ready for school. And then Emily goes, Mama, look at me. You're not even looking at me. You're so busy doing all this stuff. You're not even looking at me. And Daddy, you're so busy reading the newspaper. And we're not present. And she has this line. Oh, Earth, you're so wonderful. Why is it that nobody can appreciate how wonderful you are, Earth? And then maybe the most famous line. Why is it that human beings can't recognize life while they're living it? Why is it that human beings can't recognize life while they're living it, while they're in it? And she says to the narrator, can anybody do that? So, Not that many do. They're walking around functioning. They're going through the motions. They're fooling everybody by breathing that they're alive. They're not paying attention. They're preoccupied and they're troubled. What are they troubled about? You're alive. You have life. To recognize it while you're living. And so finally she's like, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to go. And she says, goodbye, coffee. Goodbye, hot showers. Goodbye, waking up and going to bed. Goodbye, honeysuckle trees. Gonna miss you. For human beings to recognize life while we're living it. I was watching this play during the week a number of times, and so Saturday, I was going to go to the bank. I was going to make this deposit. So I had this stuff. I was going to do something else. I was super prepared. I had everything I needed to do. I drive over to the bank, and I forgot the book that I had put the checks in. So I said, oh, life. let me drive all the way back home. And lose another half hour behind schedule. I'm alive. I'm driving back, getting my checks. So then I go to the storage unit. I put some things in there, and I pull up to the back of back the car in by the garage, and I have the car that beep 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 beep. I drove the back of the car, just a tap, but enough to really ruin the garage door. So if you try to get it up, it goes up like halfway now. Oh, life. Emily, I need help. So now I'm just going to take the deposit of the checks that I put, and I'll use that to pay to fix my garage door. That goes for naught. But it is funny though, right? When you think about that, it's so easy for that to just go, oh my God, I can't believe I'm stupid. But you know what? So what? So what? What does that matter in terms of our life and being alive and appreciating every second? Jesus is consecrated in the temple. And I think, oh, you're going to be consecrated to the Lord. You're going to be consecrated to God. Oh, yes, I'm consecrated. Look at me, I'm so consecrated. What does that mean? What does it mean to be consecrated to God? It means to be alive in your mind and in your heart. It means to be present to life. It means to be looking at the people in your life right in the eyes and saying, I love you. And to be present. There's another line in the play. It goes by so fast. In a blink of an eye. In a blink of an eye, I went from finding Nemo and making forts with Rachel, and now she's a junior in college breaking my horns. And I love every second of it. I thought, you know what I had to do? I had to get in my car and drive all the way down to Washington, D.C., and give her a hug and tell her I love her, and then turn around and go home. Just to let her know how much I love her and how important she is to me. I drive all the way down there just to hug her and turn around and go home. She would never forget that. Yeah. To be alive. So the narrator says, who's able to recognize life while they're living it? Because maybe the saints and the poets, but so few of us. We heard Don and Alberto beautifully give their gifts singing and playing the organ. God is love. God is love. And love is God. Do we hear that? You know, I love that line. I don't know what God is, but I know that God is. There is an intelligence to life. We don't understand it all. But one thing seems to be very evident, that this God, this essence, this being, is intimately aware of us and knows us. And it's the essence of love. And so if we're going to live a life of consecration like Jesus did, Jesus was alive in his mind and his heart to the lepers, the Samaritans, the men, the women, the Gentiles, the Jews. It didn't matter. Jesus was present to everybody. You kind of got a sense that if Jesus was talking to you, you felt like you were the only person in the world to him. Totally present. And he didn't live a life of self-preservation, clinging. No, he just gave it away. To really live life, you got to be willing to let go of clinging. And this is Jesus, and this is what he calls us to. To be consecrated, to be alive, to recognize life while we're living it. And you talk about how fast time goes. The movie Ghost, 1990, 30 years ago. And I love that line. When Sam, Patrick Swayze, says to Molly, he's leaving. He says, "Hey Molly, you know the love you have in your heart? You take it with you." Kobe Bryant has got 5 NBA championships, $500 million. And what Kobe Bryant takes with him and who we're taking with him, and I understand he was a really great guy, what we're all going to take with us, make no doubt about it, we're leaving everything behind and we're bringing one thing: our ability to love.